how does this game really succumb to anime logic? Is it possible to succumb to anime logic? No, it couldn't be. But yes, it is. Hello and welcome back to Pokemon Theory, the show where Professor Oak really isn't a professor, and going to the gym doesn't mean pumping iron. Unless you're in Dewford Town, which is a literal gym. Ah, poor Yorick. Et tu, Brute. Another random quote that makes little to no sense in this context. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this does indeed succumb to anime logic, and you might be saying to yourself, it's impossible. This is the most culminated, biggest, best Pokemon game, subjectively speaking, to date. I mean, it's the last 3DS Pokemon game. How could it succumb to anime logic, you might be asking yourself? Well, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Pokemon has one rule that has been there since the beginning. It's been bent a little bit and restrictive a little more, but this rule, the 6 Pokemon limit, has always been in place. Sometimes there's double battles, other times there's triple battles. Okay, cool, but it's never been more than 6 Pokemon at one time. And Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, when it comes to the 6 Pokemon at a time limit, Ultra Sun and Moon, as well as Pokemon Sun and Moon, break this rule, and liberalistically. Let me explain. So, in this game, you are privy to basically everything that Sun and Moon has going on for it. This is just slightly different. A lot of people like it, a lot of people dislike it. The point is that you get pretty much the same stuff. So, while you're going around and adventuring, you will be given a dex, just like in any game, the Rotom dex. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, that's not a Pokemon you take care of. Okay, cool, I got you. Maybe subjectively isn't, but it is a Pokemon that stays with you, and you are responsible for it for your entire journey. Now, the reason we have 6 Pokemon as a limit is supposedly found in the manga, as the answer is that no trainer can care for more than 6 at a time. It is overwhelming, and they wouldn't be able to care for the Pokemon properly. That makes sense. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, how is this possible? Maybe Rotom or Rotom is a ghost type, so it doesn't need to eat or anything. It's an electric type too. You know, at times it can go through power lines or something. I don't know. Maybe there's just something to it that allows it to survive within the 6 Pokemon parameters, okay? And hey, I'm a generous guy. I'll give it to you, folks. If that's what you're gonna say, hey, a Pokemon's dead, it doesn't need to eat, fine, cool. Except that there's more Pokemon that you care for, that you are in charge of within the 6 Pokemon limit. Now, this is only for a short time albeit still against the rules. You get access to HM Pokemon, flying on a Charizard, using a Turos to charge forward and run through things. You guys know those Pokemon, and absolutely, yes, you are in charge of those Pokemon at that moment. So when you have 6 Pokemon, you have a 7th with you while you're riding on that Turos, crashing through boulders. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, wait, hang on a second. This Pokemon, like, teleports in, you know? Wait, hang on a second. That doesn't even make sense. And yeah, it's absolutely true. This is very clearly anime logic, okay? If Pokemon can teleport anywhere, why can't I just get an item that will allow me to teleport to any key location? Now, I'm not talking about flying, and I'm not talking about having an Abra, but I'm basically talking about the equivalent without a Pokemon. If those Pokemon can teleport to me and magically come out of nowhere and help me out, then why can't I do the same thing when I'm going to certain areas? It makes little to no sense, doesn't it? That's why this game succumbs to anime logic. It's not just the 6 Pokemon limit. When you actually look into these things and start thinking about it, the game doesn't even really follow its own rules. So every time you're riding on the back of that Tauros, that's the 7th Pokemon, and that breaks the rules. So at that point in time, why can't we have 7 Pokemon? Why stop at 7? Why not make it 12? Why not make it 24? But Proto, that would break the game. Absolutely it would break the game. Hence why I'm saying it breaks its own rules. Because you are in charge of 7 Pokemon at any given time when you're using those Pokemon to fly you around to do whatever you need to do. Even with the addition of Mantine Surf, you not only have the 6 Pokemon, you have a 7th with Mantine. And one thing a lot of people are probably forgetting right now is that Rotom Dex is with you at all times. Once you get the Rotom Dex, he's with you, ladies and gentlemen. Which means you not only have 7 Pokemon at a time, you have 8 at one point in time. So, scenario pitch. You call on Tauros, have a boulder to smash. Cool, perfectly fine. Now you have Tauros, Rotom, and if you have 6 Pokemon with you, you now have 8 Pokemon in your care. Now that's something, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? I'll tell you right now, I've never seen a game break its own rules so badly in the Pokemon universe as this one has. But that's fine, because at the end of the day, it's still a fun game. But it does break the rules of the 6 Pokemon limit. Now, I might be looking into this just a little bit too far, alright? I'm gonna grant you that. But a lot of people will sit here and say, okay, you know what? You're really only caring for those 6 Pokemon. You know, maybe it's different for the video game universe. But then, if it's different for the video game universe, then what would it matter if you had 8, 10, 12, 24, 36 on you at one time? Essentially, it would break the game. Imagine having 6 legendaries and being able to use Rotom and the Tauros at one time, and then not be restricted to the 6 Pokemon limit either, and just have every single legendary on your team. You would just steamroll through the game. Not that you couldn't have just 6 legendaries as it is. My point being that, yes, indeed, this does break the 6 Pokemon rule, but it doesn't break the game. What would break the game is literally allowing you to have more than 6 Pokemon at a time. What do you think about the 6 Pokemon rule? Do you think this actually does go against the 6 Pokemon rule? Or am I completely wrong and I'm missing the context? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. As always, please like and share this video if you did enjoy it. If you didn't enjoy it, leave a dislike and tell me what I can do better in the future. I'm trying here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm really putting in a good effort and really thanking the community for their support of my videos.
How about your team versus our team?
But the rules say one-on-one.
Bad guys don't play by the rules.